I'm not even done. I have to tell you. About the last chapter. I feel like the perfect way to start this is to inform you that my Kindle has finally caught up with what is happening here, and now keeps on recommending me weird smut. So, I have plenty of options for the future. Hello, welcome to, a monthly thing. Sometimes twice monthly. Bi-monthly? Or would bi-monthly be every other month? I don't know. But, where I read weird smut, it's a fun time, it's a fast time, it's a, today we are back in the world of vegetable smut. Is an eggplant a vegetable? Eggplant is the kind of vegetable where if you told me there's eggplant smut, I'd go, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm gonna be honest, yeah, that makes sense to me. We all know what that emoji is used for. Right? Like how the pillow one also makes sense. Which was the one from last month. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of these. There is generally 2 camps, and then there's like a third camp that is just the outliers, which is the weird monster smut. Mostly that was for the Morning Glory Milking Farm one. That was the Minotaur one. But most of the time, there's 2 camps. There is an inanimate object that is turned alive and somehow, and that is the smut. Or it is some type of food object that transforms into a human, and then fun times. I think the only other food one that made sense was the cucumber one, but that also had tomatoes in it, and they were also priests. They were priests first turned into vegetables. This is vegetable first turned into humans. I'm gonna give you the lore. I know the lore beforehand because this is a sequel. I think around November of last year. I think it was for Thanksgiving. This is how it all started. Really, I'm gonna be honest. I read the squash one. I mean, the fork ones, the silverware ones was where it all started. But squash is where it really started amping up, where I started doing them more regularly. We could really thank the food ones for that. Speaking of which, there's a whole playlist. It'll be up above in the cards. There's a bunch of them. You don't have to watch that one beforehand, because I'm going to give you a very quick rundown of the lore so you understand what is happening, because this is a direct sequel. And there was, we got to see the eggplant meeting its mate, in that one, and, it was a couple that picked him up. So I was like, is this one gonna be gay? I have opened up the book to just take it to the first chapter, and there is in the very beginning, a warning that this includes biphobia and homophobia, and I went, oh my god, this one's fruity. Oh, yay. We're gonna have a good time today. Let me tell you that every single time I've read a queer fruit one or food one, it has either been an absolutely great time. That was a cucumber and tomato priest one, or a completely traumatic time and I never want to think about it again, but it lives rent-free in my nightmares. That was the potato one. I don't want to think about the potato one ever again. That was a journey. So, this could go one of 2 ways. Essentially, the lore, right, is that, the main character from the first one, or main human character from the first one, works part-time at a goblin market, essentially, and she gets a cornucopia, and, the cornucopia apparently pulls its, it only shoots out vegetables, produce, and it pulls it out from another universe. It pulls them from another universe and brings them into this universe. That's how the magic works. Now, according to the squash, a very small portion of the, produce in this other realm is actually sentient, but there is sentient produce, and he was one of them. And at one point, she pulled out a bunch of produce from the cornucopia called the hornucopia because that's the name of the series. That's fun. That's funny. That's unquestionably funny. In the process of doing that, one of them was an eggplant. She didn't chop them up because she felt weird about chopping possible people up. And at one point, the eggplant rolled off her counter, went out her door, escaped her apartment, and then a couple on the side of the street picked him up. That's the lore. So I'm gonna go read 92 pages of Eggplant smut. This is the best shirt I own for this, honestly. I tried to find something purple to wear for this. This is the best I own. Anyways, this is gonna be a wild time. I'll update you at some point. I'm gonna go pick it up. I do actually have to actively go pick it up. Today's already been a day. Oh, hi. It's the middle of August. My hair's up. Deal with it. Update. I am a quarter of the way through. Names. Samuel is the human. Duke, I think his title is Duke, but we're just gonna call him Duke, is the Eggplant. And I'm pretty sure Gordy is the name of the squash, but we're gonna call him Prince because he's the prince in the vegetable land. And the whole reason Duke is here is because Duke is engaged to Prince's sister. And apparently, because he left the realm for a woman and never came back, I assume, the Duke's plan is to literally hunt down the prince. And then, he has spent, I think, all of book 1, actually, in the human realm, because he seems to know more than Gordy. I said I wasn't gonna call him Gordy, but it feels weird calling him Prince. But anyways, in book 1, I remember vividly the whole aspect that he was very naive to things in the human realm, and you would think not having a human body, because I think they transform in their realm as well, but I don't know. And it was slightly uncomfortable, right? Reading about this woman, who is regularly having relations with this man who does not know anything, really. He doesn't fully understand what's happening. In this one, Duke has been here for a while. He has read some books. One of the first things he says is, do you know most Fae, don't have wings, right? And A Court of Thorns and Roses reference was done. So, good times. He knows some human things. Like, he doesn't know what cotton is. He doesn't know what human clothes are made of, but he understands that humans prefer to be clothed around each other, and also not to transform in public. When Samuel, and I really hope that's actually his name. I just saw it, because the next chapter was his POV. And who I thought, when we saw this part in, book 1, was his girlfriend, but actually his ex-girlfriend. I will talk about that in a minute. That's part of the plot. When he picks him up, or gets his hands on him, he throws him into a bag, and he's, like, being bruised, jumbled around, right, in the canvas bag, throughout the day, until he returns to the hotel he's staying at. And, then the Duke transforms into a human then. But his plan is to, like, leave. And also, because, like, he has a fiance in another land, he has a job to do here, he doesn't want a mate. Also, he said something that was a little interesting. He said, something about along the lines of, sex already takes a lot of time, why would I want to spend time doing more of it? Sir, I think you just may not like having sex with women. I'm gonna be honest. Based on the fact that they have kissed one time. And he's already, like, maybe it's because it's his mate, but maybe he's just gay. Anyways, yeah, our bro is, bisexual, and, he has an ex-girlfriend, who is the one who initially picks up the Eggplant. This is why I was confused if it was gonna be both of them, because she's the one that first picks it up, Duke. But she picks up Duke and then tosses it to Samuel, being all like, oh, see, you can use this, haha, right, as a joke. Which I get she's kind of upset, because he did kiss her, like, the night before, really drunk. But also feels like he is a fellow bisexual. Thank you very much. Hi, Bella. It is so hard, humid, oh my god. Yeah, no, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the picking up and throwing of the Eggplant. That happens. We learn that, she is actually, well, not only is she his ex, and they're good friends, but also, he's in town for, his brother's wedding with her. Yeah, his ex is marrying his brother. The night before, he tried to kiss her. But he doesn't, like, remember it, so I'm a little suspicious of that. Anyways, they've kissed once. And this is where I have to bring up something very important, which is, my enjoyment of these books comes from the, lore, the world building, the whole, how is this possible in our universe? Like, perchance if it is the love child between Zeus and Dryad, is a tree, and then a tree's cut down and turned into a door, or a phoenix dies out of, depression from the death of a loved one, and one of the feathers from the phoenix is, put into a pillow, or God decrees it, you belong together, but also with this woman, so he turns you into a vegetable, so you're forced to be together, or you're super soldiers from... I just explained to people, more people, I introduce people to the Land of Forked, universe, pretty regularly, introduce new people, they were shocked, they were gobsmacked, it was the greatest thing I've done, it is my legacy, anyways, yeah, I like that aspect is always fun to me, because it's like, there's no way I can ever guess what's happening here, right? Like, that's always my favorite part, but the issue with this being a sequel is that I already know how this is possible. Like, I gave that to you in the intro of this video, so I don't really care, right? And the stuff about his, brother and, ex-girlfriend, I don't care about, I get he's, kind of feeling low on himself because of that, and then also he is an artist of some kind, and his art career is not doing the best, so he's also feeling kind of down on himself because of that. All that, I get it. I get what's happening here. It's not my favorite. I think what should happen here is very Enchanted, in which, the Duke goes back to the vegetable land, because I think the prince is staying. So Duke should go back with Samuel, and they be together there, and roll together there. Like Indina Menzel did in Enchanted. Hear me out. That's my thoughts, opinions. I think this is gonna be a boring one. Like, I say that, I am actively reading about a man and an eggplant making out, and I recognize this. But, but in the grand scheme of all of these, I think this is going to be a boring one. This is not going to be one where I'm recording as I react, because it's going to be just me being like, oh no, they're having sex. Oh no, this is happening. I'll update you at 50% and then 75%. I'll do all the quarterly updates, but otherwise, I think this is going to be a boring one, Chief. I don't think this one's going to be the most interesting video. I hate to inform you. There's a whole better potato one. If you want me being traumatized by vegetable smut, potato one. It's an experience. I was like, it's really hot. Yeah, that's because it's almost 100 degrees out. No wonder it's hot. Anyways, I'm 49%, I'm gonna say 24.5% of the book, so it's everything I just read, was just a smut scene. Was it a well-written one? Yes. Okay? This is more on par with Produced, the priest one, unless the potato or the door one, okay? Like, this one is on the higher end of the smut writing, which we love. Anyways, some background lore is that, Samuel's brother, I think his name's like Donnie or something, shows up out of the blue, to the hotel room, barges in, and is all like, hey bro, you're in charge of my bachelor party, why aren't you up? But he's like, I thought your best man was gonna be in charge of your bachelor party. Also, he said that he wants to watch Battlestar Galactica. He's like, where's the strippers, where's the beer, where's the Battlestar Galactica? Okay, hear me out. Battlestar Galactica is so not a bachelor party show. I have such strong thoughts and opinions about that. Anyways, in case you don't know, that's like my favorite show of all time. So, you know, like, yeah, there's a hot woman in it doing sexy time things. Like, yeah, that's why I loved it the first time I watched it. But, like, use your brain cells, please. Anyways, apparently, the best man who's supposed to do the bachelor party is going through a double breakup. I don't know what that means. Maybe he was in a throuple. maybe he was in a poly relationship and he was kicked out. I don't know. And so, Samuel, as the brother, is now in charge of the bachelor party. The fiance, never texted him. She was supposed to text him, but never did. It's hinting at how she likes to get between the two brothers and not do things to hide things from one of them to make it like um uncomfortable between them and whatnot. So that's fun. Also, the brother is very physical, and I don't mean like hugging. I mean like punching him in the shoulder, slapping him on the back, and it is definitely enough to bruise. And he's like, I don't know if he's doing this because that's just the type of guy he is, or if um he's doing it because I kissed his fiance last night, and he doesn't remember that night. Like, he was really drunk, so he doesn't remember it, and he was told that he tried to kiss her, so I'm questioning if he did. I'm strongly questioning if he did. And also, on top of that, um, that's why she never told her fiance, or, yeah, her fiance, that his brother tried to kiss her, because it never happened. But, like, she wants some separation between them. I don't know. I'm getting a weird vibe from that. Um, yeah, no, she's supposed to just be the dumb bitch who both of them have been with, I guess, and is between them. I don't know. Anyways, he's supposed to go throw this bachelor party out of the blue. But Duke goes to the window and he's trying to figure out whether or not he's actually going to leave like planned. But after their night of passion, and whatnot, whether or not to do that. But then, when he's looking out the window trying to make a decision, he sees, the prince out there breakdancing. I think he's a street breakdancer. Anyways, so, yeah, maybe he's gonna go kill him. There's a thing where, I didn't bring up last time, but there's a thing where he, says something about the prince, being, doing crimes against his people and stuff like that. Like, being a really bad guy. And that's intriguing. Like, I was gonna say, why would you marry his sister then? But, like, that kind of makes sense, because then, one, you get to be in charge if you kill the brother. And she knows that he plans to kill the brother. But also, according to him, she's the type of person to, like, kiss babies and feed the poor, in her free time. So, she's a nicer person than her brother. And then, by getting rid of the prince, he gets to be in charge because he's married to the princess, I assume. I don't know. All I know is that was a really long sex scene. Goodbye? I won't go read another, I don't know, there's 20 chapters, and I'm only on chapter 10, I believe. 9 or 10. So I guess I'll go read 5 more. Yeah, it is exactly, I'm on page, or chapter 10, so I guess I'll go read 5 more. Goodbye. I have no clue how to explain what happened. Okay, so, Gordy and Duke, he is both a Duke, and also his name is Duke. Anyways, Duke, fell through the cornucopia, I thought, but actually they were pushed by the evil sorceress, who is Gordy's stepsister. So anyways, they were fighting. The reason why they have been fighting, so essentially, his parents, the king and queen, are starting to wither and die. And the way politics work, technically, the way I'm about to explain the politics of a magical produce realm, they also are humanoid in this realm on occasion. Anyways, so they can self-pollinate. Like, it's not really an issue of reproduction. It's an issue of, the rules are for cross-pollinating, especially for royals. And, none of the brothers, none of the princes really care. They're all kind of himbos. They're all himbos. That's a good way to put it. They're all himbos. And so, her name's Naria. I know this because every single time I read it, I want to say Narnia. She, and, the Duke, make a pact. They're like best friends. They make a pact if after 400 years, they don't find their mates, then they will get married and rule the realm. It's been 400 years. So their plan was to get married and rule the realm, but now Samuel, plus I don't think Joanne's here, who is the woman from the first book, but Gordy is. The witches, who is the evil stepsister, who is also human. She's human. I don't understand how that works. Right? And Duke's there, and Samuel's there, and so is his brother Jeff. Now you might be like, how is Jeff handling all this? Because this is new for him. Jeff, in preparation for his bachelor party, got very fucking high. He is one, very himbo coded, but also very fucking high. Also, apparently, he knows what poly and open relationships is because his fiance, is, like, they have one. And by they have one, I mean how it works for them, I guess, is if he wants to kiss another girl, he can. He just has to tell her afterwards. That's not how it works. that's not how it works, my fam. Anyways, so yeah, that's their thing. He's also very himbo coded, but also very high. God, is he fucking annoying. Anyways, so, Samuel and, the Duke are dealing with the fact that, like, they're in love, but also, Samuel has to go back home. I don't know why, but he has to go back home. And the Duke has to stay here and get married, to his fiance and become king. He doesn't even want to be king. He's doing it so that he can, so that his best friend can, be queen. And also because he, feels bad about her ruling on her own. So he's like, yeah, I'll help you out, right? I didn't explain why he was fighting Gordy. Gordy, is one of those, brothers. He's all like, well, you guys aren't, mates, so, like, you can't get married. And they got in a fight, and then the stepsister, in trying to, stop their fighting, pushed them, and the cornucopia portal opened up as she pushed them, so she pushed them through the portal. The end. Also, in case you're wondering, Naria? Yes, Naria, has a lover. Her name's Cafe. I think she's a coffee bean, or coffee bean plant, or something like that. Anyways, yeah, she has a lover, as well. Like, it's kind of open and whatnot, but, like, Samuel can't stay there and whatnot. It's so, yeah, she's all like, go be with Samuel one last time, show him your place. Anyways, bye. And that's it. That's all that's happened. I fully don't understand what I'm reading right now. I'll be honest. I'm gonna go finish it. Bye. I have 2 chapters left, but important update, because I figured it out. A combination of 2 things happened, that made me figure it out. What the breakup with 2 separate women thing was. The double breakup thing with the best man. Essentially all that happened is that, Duke and Samuel did it again, and they went home. It's now the wedding day. Jeff is so himbo coded, but also kind of homophobic. They can't find his tie, so he borrows, Samuel's, and he's like, are you sure this tie doesn't make me gay? Like, 5 times. So annoying. Anyways, he has to be the best man because the best man's not there, and, he brings up, he was so high that he thought, Joanne, the main character from the first book, was Jojo Siwa. Okay. So he's like, you mean Joanne? And he's all like, what does Drake's hot ex have to do with anything? Right? And when she was in the book for, like, 30 seconds, he's like, how do you know me? And she's like, you mean you're my douchebag ex's best friend? Like, obviously I know who you are. It made me realize, oh, that's what it meant with the double breakup. In the first book, the whole setup of kind of, part of the reason why she's upset and single is that she caught her boyfriend, cheating on her, I think with her best friend, if I remember properly. And so I think what it's saying is that he's broken up with, or both of them have broken up with him, which is great. Love that. Honestly. Anyways, I don't know if Gordy went back to the human realm, as not said. But Duke's staying behind, I guess, to get married and fall in love. He doesn't think Ohio is a real place, which is valid. There's somebody on this planet. I also don't think Ohio is a real place. Anyways, yeah, that's this update. I just thought that was important enough to bring up. I was a dumbass, and I didn't clock the things until, it was literally, like, the best man's not there, I guess, something about his ex again, and I went, oh my god, he's the ex. Anyways. I'm not even done. I have to tell you about the last chapter. So, in the last sex scene, Samuel left behind his personal toy. Also, I did not describe that sex scene at all because I don't want to have to deal with that. What will I say? Duke has a lot going on down there. Anyways, he left his personal vibrating toy behind. So, Duke has canceled his own wedding. Right? And, a bunch of the vegetables are coming with him. So imagine New York City, like 20 vegetables just rolling across the sidewalk to show up at a random wedding. That's hilarious. Anyways, yeah, also he has the personal toy strapped to him to return it. Wait, guys, I'm on the epilogue. They're together. Eventually Jeff witnesses all of them, and he starts freaking out, and he's all like, oh my god, they're real. Anyways, the epilogue, I think, is set up for a third book about Marty, who is the caterer. Like 5 seconds before, Samuel talked about how, the caterer had also recently gone through a breakup. Anyways, apparently his brother was supposed to help out, but he's not there. The weird couple that came at the end left some vegetables lying around that I scooped into my box. Oh god. They think that they're a dancing group. That's their cover. Okay. Green with purple spikes along her hairline. What food would that be? I'm trying to think. They're all vegetables. I should mention this because, calling somebody a type of fruit, specifically apple at one point, is, like, considered a slur. At which point, Samuel does bring up that eggplants are technically berries. Which was funny. Anyways, yeah, he brings them home. He goes to cut them up when, all of a sudden there's a green woman with purple spikes near her hair. I'm trying to think. Is there, and he's all like, oh my god, an actor followed me home. Anyways, I don't know when that's coming out, but exciting. Did I just look up a bunch of green vegetables? Yes, I did. My best guess is artichoke. I don't know. It also, I guess, could be a type of bean. That's a strong possibility, because, cafe was a bean. But, I guess it could also be a bean. Bean. I don't know. Book was fine, I guess. This smut wasn't poorly written. At least the first one. The second one wasn't as good, but the first one was pretty good. I'll give the book that. The rare moment that we got some lore stuff that was new, I was very confused on what was happening. I'm gonna be honest. It was fine. For the grand scheme of all these, this one was very boring, actually. Very boring. I don't think I'll continue the series. And hear me out. Yeah, no. I have no desire to continue the series on my own. I didn't check what I gave Squash. If I had to guess a 3, that's what I'm giving this one. And I have no desire to continue it on my own, and I don't think it'd be entertaining enough to continue in this format. Which would be the only reason I would continue it at this point. So, I'm stopping here. The end. It's fine. 3 stars. It wasn't offensive in any way. I say that. Jeff was kind of the worst. both Jeff and Dory, who is his fiance, I should mention his fiance's name is Dory. I guess they're married now. Also, it was insinuated at the end that he did the like thing at weddings where you smash your bride's face into the wedding cake, and so she was like cleaning that up and reapplying her makeup while he put his tie around his forehead and was chugging beer with his bros. I hate him so much. Actually, um, yeah, I that's my thoughts and opinions about it. Yeah, I think the only people in this series, in this universe, that have common sense is Duke and Samuel. So, which is why I love that they're together. They're also both bisexual. I didn't bring this up, but they are both bisexual. And I love that for them. The end. Goodbye. That's all I have to say. I don't have to say anything about this one. There's nothing really to talk about. I sometimes like go a little bit into like the dynamics, right, of like usually the men being objects or vegetables in these, and how like how that works and the ops of what that means and stuff like that. And like I guess there's one other male one in general, but also food one. Um, right, and that one, the less dominant one, definitely the bottom was the potato, was the food. But this one, they're definitely more of a switch. Okay, like it starts off with him being being more dominant in the relationship, which makes sense. He's literally a duke, right? But Samuel, eventually takes charge at one point and whatnot. And so it's more evened out. So I don't even have anything interesting to say about that aspect, right? Like the gender dynamics in these type of books. So like that's all I gotta say. 3 stars. It was fine. Wasn't the worst one of these I've read by a long shot, but also wasn't like actually good, like produced. The end. Link below is all the stuff. Instagram, Twitch. Those are the 2 main places I'm at, other than here. Wednesdays are gaming videos, slightly edited down gaming streams from Twitch, but also I do co-working there where I read a lot. Saturdays are videos like this. I think the next one's going to be a series continuation, but I don't know. I'm behind on my reading in general, except for one video that I don't plan to go up until the end of the month. So, that's that. That's everything. Goodbye. Until the next video.